the Almighty.
Do we all worship the same God, Christian and Muslim?
I think we do. We have different routes of getting to the Almighty.
Principles. And I'm going to remind his Holy Father how important his voice is, and making it easier for politicians like me to be able to kind of stand and defend our positions that are, I think, very important positions to take.
Mr. President, final question.
Yes, sir.
You said famously, when you looked into Vladimir Putin's eyes, you saw his soul.
Yeah.
When you look into Benedict XVI's eyes, what do you see?
God.
Good way to end the interview.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. My pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go
I'm
on.
sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the web.
Number 322?
First of all, he's not the nominee. And, look, I look forward...
Are you prepared to lose?
No, I'm not going to lose.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us?
Not much, because it's a secret.
Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code?
I wish there were something secret I could manifest.
322, a secret number?
There are all kinds of secrets, Tim, but one thing is not a secret. I disagree with this president's direction that he's taking the country. We can do a better job, and I intend to do it.
And we'll be watching. Be safe on the campaign trail. John Kerry, thanks for joining us. And we'll be right back.
Welcome to the Hope Above YouTube channel. Tonight I wanted to talk about Bush Jr., his love for the Vicar of Christ, and his appointment of John Roberts. I did not vote for Bush as he was from a satanic group called the Skull and Crossbones. The initiates perform mock sacrifices and many other sick rituals. You will find initiates from this society move up the ladder very quickly. Remember, Kerry was also from Skull and Bones, and this should have been a huge flag for America. But sadly I was ridiculed by family and co-workers for bringing it up. I also remember the deceived voting conservatives say how it was so important for Bush to put a conservative on the Supreme Court. They ignored the Skull and Crossbones. They ignored that Bush saw God when he met the Pope. They ignored he said, just like the Pope, that there are many paths to God. No surprise that we end up with another Roman Catholic on the Supreme Court who does not serve America but the whore that sits on many waters. Roberts took his vacation to the Malta after historic vote on Vatican healthcare. Let me provide a little history concerning the order and its connections with the Pope. In 1530, the Holy Roman Emperor Charles V, as King of Sicily, ceded to the order the island of Malta. At first, the order's Maltese dominion, which also included the nearby islands of Gozo and Comino, was considered a fief of the Kingdom of Sicily, its Grand Master, a vassal. It was for this reason that an annual feudal tax was paid, though it was largely symbolic. It included, for example, a Maltese falcon. The order would remain a military dependency of the Kingdom of Sicily until 1798, though, like the feudal tax rendered to the king, this was to be largely symbolic in actual practice during the centuries to follow. Pope Clement VII sanctioned this act, and with a bull of May 7, 1530, and the order established its Grand Magistry on the island later in the year. The order was also granted Tripoli, which it relinquished in 1551. This part is important as you will understand why voting is a manliness exercise. The order was ruled by a Grand Master who was answerable only to the Pope. Knights were chosen from the aristocratic families of France, Italy, Spain, England, and Portugal. On acceptance into the order they were sworn to celibacy, poverty and obedience. See, your Jesuit-trained leaders answer not to the American people but only to the Black Pope. My prayers are for those to see that only Christ will save you from the great calamities that are going to fall upon this world. Climate change is real, and God will use the sun, hail, earthquakes and diseases on those who do not have faith in Christ alone. The world's leaders worship the prince of this world and conspire to create their own utopia by man's hand. It will end in the worst suffering this world has ever felt. Come out of any church that does not follow Christ alone and use the Bible as the final authority. Thank you for tuning into the Hope Above YouTube channel.